if it comes from a box with electricity and whatever, you know it's not good for you, and then you're putting that in your mouth. Oh, that's not gonna end well. I already could tell you that with no research.
The VHS rewinder. You would take it out and then put it in, and it would rewind.
That's sneaky like McDonald's, like the ice cream machines. Well, you just gave me a new thing that I learned from you. Not really new, but think before you say.
Welcome to the 200% Life podcast. This is season 3. I'm your host, Jeremy Gomez. And don't forget to rate, subscribe, like all the platforms that we're on. And we're looking forward to giving you some more great content this season. But today's a very special episode because I have my firstborn son here with me. And I want to dig deep down to the mind of a teenager. So without further ado, my son, Gianfranco Gomez. How you doing?
I'm doing really good.
Really good. So tell us about yourself. How old are you? I'm
14. About to turn 15 in like 3 months. Right? Yeah, 3 months.
3 months. Great hair. Looks good.
Somewhat.
Looks good somewhat. Representing the Vipers here in Lake Buena Vista High School here in Orlando, Florida. But I want to dig deep down, and I want to, we talk a lot, obviously, and we see each other every day, drive to school, etc. But I wanted to definitely ask you some questions to dig deep into today's kind of some topics that maybe people my age, people your age can relate, and reach out some people. So the first question I have for you is, what is it like having me as a dad?
I grew up negotiating. That's negotiation. Because I would be in the car and he would be always on phone calls, negotiating with I swear he'd be on the phone with 50 different people. I'm like, how does he have time to do this? if I go through his recent calls, at the end of the day, it's probably gonna be more than 1,000. Cause he just goes one person after another, or if not, it's 5 people calling him at once. I'm like, oh my goodness,
it's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
So you're probably one of the few people that have seen me in the car just making calls and doing all those things. So negotiation. What else?
Problem solving.
Because
either you have the solution or you don't, and you call 5 other people to get the solution. You're like, this person doesn't got it? Okay, I got 20 other people. One by one, you go, no, yes, okay. And then you call the person back and you're like, okay, we got this, blah, blah, blah. And then...
I love it. So you're paying attention. I love it. It seems like you're always playing on the phone, but you're actually paying attention.
Yeah, I'm listening.
I love it. So you're obviously a firstborn.
Mm-hmm.
Lot of responsibility. How old is your sister?
5. Yeah.
So that's 9 years apart. So what is being a firstborn, how has it shaped your personality and also your outlook in life?
What do you mean by that?
Well, as a firstborn, now you have a sister. So how has it been, how did that change your opinion of the world or your perspective of the world now being firstborn?
I couldn't do things, not things, but I couldn't do I had to make sure what I was doing, because if not, whatever, monkey see, monkey do.
There you.
And I can't be, I have to watch out to see if she's there.
What do you think our family dynamics have influenced your identity and your perspective? So us as a family, what we do and what we say every single day, how has that helped you or shaped you in today?
You've made me have to negotiate and argue with many people. Many wins, some few losses, but those losses hurt a lot.
Okay, so negotiations part.
Yeah, a lot.
What do you like
problem
about
solving? I did. It was Wednesday actually. I have business entrepreneurship. I thought it was gonna be a class. But all we do is kind of write emails all day. We're it's this article, and we have to answer. She gives us 3 questions, and then we have to answer them with the article and blah blah. And then she just gives us little articles to read that we have to answer. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't think this was what I was gonna be doing for 50 minutes, because that class is 50 minutes. So there was this exam at the end, towards the end of the year, not really at the end, but they're like, oh, if you don't pass this, you're not gonna get your certificate. Yeah, certificate. But after every 21 days, you could take the test again. I'm like shaking. I'm like, oh my goodness, how hard could this be? So I'm like, I go down. She's like, I put for the test. I put February 1st, so I could just get it over with. I'm like, what's the certificate? I don't. I could probably get many other certificates down the line. So I'm like, okay. So I'm just like, okay. So Wednesday, I went to take the exam. It's like, oh, you need to make an account. So I made an account to test. And then it's like, do you not understand the subject? Do you know at a basic level without help? Do you know at advanced level without help? And then some other one I don't remember. So I'm like, why could this be asking this? And I'm like, maybe if I choose like somewhere a little bit lower the middle, it's gonna give me easier questions, right? So I do that, and little do you know, the questions are like easy. I'm like, oh, okay. So 50 minutes later, I passed the exam. I'm like, okay, this was easy, right? And it says the best I did was marketing and strategy. I'm like, and the lowest part was like, I think it was accounting. I was like, I've never been that good at accounting. I don't even know what accounting is, honestly. I barely know. She's like, the teacher's been over that like twice or 3 times. To be fair, I just do the work early so I could just like rest my head because that's my second period and I'm tired. So I just do the work and I'm done. And the teacher doesn't care because like I did everything. I do everything that I need to do. Like,
so you gotta do it.
Yeah,
you gotta do it. So entrepreneurship, you're very interested in business.
Mm-hmm.
Are you? Because that's what I feel, right? And negotiation obviously is a big part of business.
Yeah.
We've talked about starting a business here soon. I want to talk about your first business because you do already have a first business. Talk about your first business that you started. I think about 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago.
That wasn't even like 4 years ago. That was like that was 2020. We were in quarantine.
Yeah. What's the year now?
It was like a year ago.
Oh yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
So tell us about the first business. Your first
so
business.
It was car washing. I was like, this seems simple. I can make a little money. So I go to my grandma's apartment or complex. I don't even know what it is. Like, not a nursing home, but like for elderly, 55 and above. Kind of sad. But so I'm like, oh, I could just wash cars because like their cars are dirty. I'm like, dirty, like dust. It's like they haven't washed their cars in 20 years, and I'm like, damn. I'm like, okay, I can make some easy money here. I'm like, so like $10, I think it was at first for interior, $20 for outside and interior, and then just $10 for outside. But I had up the price because inflation, like even inflation.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, I that's what I do. But I kind of been like at a stop here because my grandma usually picked me up in middle school. And it's just like, not Tuesday and Thursday I had martial arts, and then the rest of the week I could wash cars. I think it was Wednesdays. But now I ride my one wheel to back home, so I don't. My grandma doesn't pick me up. She picks my sister up at like 6 because of the aftercare. So I'm like, well, I can't do that. Sometimes on the weekends though, she would take me, but usually I'm with my family on the weekend.
So no, but that's good.
Mm-hmm.
But you saw the opportunity for business, right? You saw the cars are dirty.
Yeah, they were very dirty.
How did you advertise for that? How did you?
My grandma.
Oh, okay. She was your
manager.
spokesperson?
She was my manager. She'll go during their breakfast because they have breakfast and they put like things out. So she would just be like, "Oh, my grandson has a car washing business," and then her friends would also tell people because her friend would play cards like at night and like gamble.
Some underground gambling happening at the 55 plus.
So I have offline marketing. That's what they call it.
Offline marketing.
Like, okay, I got that from the exam because the exam, right? I was like, oh, I didn't pay. I didn't know it was for like this was teaching us for the big exam. So I was just like skipping to the question because she wanted screenshots, right? Because it's just like it doesn't count as a grade. So I just skipped to the questions, and she's like, "This is practice for exam." So I'm like, "Crap!" And this was like a day before the exam. I didn't realize. So I'm like, "Okay, let me do this real quick." So I spend like 10 minutes, and I just go through the questions. And my first attempt, like actual attempt, I got like a 98 on it. which is it's like 900 or something out of 1,000, and I'm like, damn. And then one of the questions I remember, because you have to remember the questions, like 42 questions. I'm like, oh my goodness, like 42 questions to remember. But I had like little tricks. You remember the last word if it's like a long thing. Remember the last word, and you just put that there. I mean, it helps if it helps, but
got it. But we're very proud of you because first year of high school, your grades have been phenomenal, and means that you're capturing a lot more, which is great. And when we were talking about the business portion of it, and what you're learning in entrepreneurship classes in school, it's there. So you've already learned about marketing a little bit, right? it was the, what did you call it again?
Offline marketing.
Offline marketing. There you go.
The thing about it is that with all like the Instagram, it says it's like all social media, e-commerce. You can use social media accounts. So I'm thinking like already current time, but the questions are based on like 5 years back. And there's like one question that said, what's good offline marketing? So it's like Google ads and social media. So I'm like, okay, obviously easy win. I check the questions wrong and I'm like, what? And it says pamphlets and TV ads. And I'm like, I don't remember the last time I've seen cable, but like
it's all streaming.
It's all streaming. So I'm like, I think this may be a little dated, but
yeah, but it's good. It's giving you business sense, which is great. You're able to identify a problem. We talked about problem solving. Mm-hmm. That was dirty cars, and then word of mouth marketing, offline marketing, right? And then now, tell me about the prices. The prices were $10 on the outside. Yeah, that seems kind of low though, right?
You got to keep it cheap for the elders, because not if it's like $50, they're gonna be like, oh no, it's too much. I'm like, no, like, you gotta keep it cheap because not you gotta get them coming back for more. If you keep things cheap, the people are going to come back for more. If you make it expensive, they're going to come back less, even though you're going to... Making it cheaper, you're going to make a bit more profit if you make it expensive.
That's good. And you ended up getting more money, though, sometimes.
Because they'll just give me like a $20 tip. I'm like, damn. Because they didn't have change. They had like a...
Yeah, it's a good business tactic. I love it. So speaking about social media, so we talked about, a little business now, social media. So social media is big in today's society, the whole entire world revolves around it. So we actually just gave you authorization to have an Instagram account. Finally. Thanks to Leticia. There's Leticia and a bottle of wine. And a lot of negotiation power. So now you have Instagram. And so I want to know, because obviously you're in high school now. I'm sure a lot of your friends have social media. How do you think social media has shaped your generation and how you view like the world and relationships and everything? How has social media changed that?
Most of the people in school who have social media, they use it wrong. Most of them, I heard a conversation. I was like in class and they're like, oh, I spend like 8 hours. Sometimes I just zone out on Instagram. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, they don't know how to stop themselves. They just keep going because the format of short videos it's the way how when you scroll up, it's a new video and it's quick access. So people just go, oh, okay, let me just do 5 more videos. 5 videos pass. Oh, another interesting video, because they can't stop. They can't stop scrolling up and up and up and up.
So it could turn into like
an addiction, a habit.
A habit addiction. Hours, right? You said 8 hours on watching
videos?
I
was like, no, my friend, he was gone one day. He wasn't here. He missed a day, and I hear my friend saying, "Yo, look." I'm not gonna say the name, obviously, but he was like, yo, he had 24 hours on Instagram. I'm like, 24 hours?
The whole day?
Yeah, the whole day.
He didn't sleep?
I don't know. He said, oh, it's probably because the app was open. But when the app's open, it doesn't run hours on screen time. Because I usually have Netflix open on my thing, because I turn off my phone and I go. Or I'm on another thing, and it doesn't put your screen time up. So he was on there for 24. I don't know how, but 24 hours. If I did that, oh, everything's gone for me.
Oh my god! So I grew up in the 1990s. Yes, we're pretty.
Did you play with like balls?
What's
like
that?
Footballs, soccer balls, basketballs.
Yeah.
Yeah. VCR tapes.
VCR tapes.
CDs.
Do you know what VCR stands for?
VC. Something like video or something. Video.
Second word.
CR. Wait, it's a cassette tape.
Okay,
right?
So you got the first two, video, cassette, and then what's the third one?
Record, something.
Recorder. Video, cassette, recorder. That's what VCR stands for. Which you've never held. You've never seen.
It's the box, right? Yeah, Machi abuela.
Have you ever seen a?
Yes, she had Pocoyo. She had a TV in my room where I used to stay, and I put the thing into the box, and we used to watch Pocoyo. Okay. Not Pocoyo.
Caillou.
No. What's it called? Pinocchio. Mm-hmm.
I think it was a TV. It
was an old TV.
Well, yeah, but the box is called. That's the VCR.
Oh,
that's the video cassette
the VCR
recorder.
tape or the something.
So you know what a video cassette is?
Yeah,
the VHS tape, which is the video cassette. We used to put them on there, and then when you were done with it, what did you have to do?
I don't know.
When you're done watching it, what did you have to do?
I don't know. I never did that.
You have to rewind it to the beginning so you can watch it again. So then they used to sell.
That's a faulty system.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah, because you have to rewind it. And then they used to sell the separate. Rewind the VHS rewinder. You would take it out and then put it in there with rewind.
That's sneaky like McDonald's, like the ice cream machines. Because the people who they buy their ice cream machines from, they make it not last on purpose. So they come back, it's like $2,000 for repair. And you know how many McDonald's there are in the world? Oh my goodness. They're making bank.
So I grew up in the 90s. VCRs, you call it. So we did not have social media. We actually barely started the internet. Probably 95, 96 is when I first
barely, because you guys only had like those big computers that only like scientists had to do math, right? Right, and like the first video game was like not even a 2D. It was like 1 pixel. It was a spaceship. And I don't know. I think it was
Space Invaders.
I think it was an article that I read back in my middle school days. But I think it's like it was only scientists had it. It was expensive.
Well, so we were scientists in middle school, probably.
No, but that was probably no.
You're talking about so you have this TV, for example. This is a flat screen. We never had this, right? Our TVs were the tube TVs, which are, the screen is there, but then the back of it was like this big, right? So this is what we had on the thing. And then
but I'm thinking about like way back, not like before you were born. Because like computers where they do mathematical calculations. 1992. Yeah, it was probably like in the 1970s or 1980s probably, they would use these computers to do mathematical calculations.
Yeah.
So
possibly.
I think they.
Now your phone can do it.
Yeah, obviously. Because if they didn't have that and they sent a missile and they didn't carry the one, that missile could have landed somewhere else. God knows where.
It's hilarious. So we didn't have social media. You have social media. Mm-hmm. So we actually had to.
Talk to people.
No. You talk to people now. Let's not go that extreme. We had to talk to people, but the communication outside of an actual face-to-face interaction was a lot different because we couldn't, right? And we barely had cell phones. Now you have a cell phone. Your cell phone's right there, which is a world. It's a world in there, right? So we actually had to give our house phone. Oh yeah,
then you guys have after the house phones, or like they probably had it, but like wasn't like a box, and then if you got a call, it would tell you.
Oh, the caller ID box, yeah.
Yeah, the caller, yeah.
Yes, yeah. It was a box separate, and you could see who's calling you. Yeah, absolutely. But we didn't have cell phones, so all my friends, I would give them my house number to call me, and then if I wasn't home, they couldn't talk to me on the phone. because we didn't have cell phones. So
But couldn't like if you had another house phone, couldn't they like your parents would go on the other one and listen to what you're saying?
they can, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Actually, fun story. That's what happened to me and your mom one time. We were talking on her house phone. Her parents didn't know, and then her mom came on the phone. That's what happened. They could pick up the phone and listen to your conversation. Yes. So our social kind of interaction was actually in person. So. What do you think has that changed? Now with having relationships, because you have text messaging, we don't have that. Text messaging, cell phones, all that stuff. How is that different?
They don't go up to people anymore, right? They're like, oh, I can send a text. They just whip out their phone, beep 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 beep, boom, and that's it. And they don't like no social connections. Like,
yeah. How do you think that is? Is that a problem?
It is a problem. Like, at least, like, if I don't even know, that's a brain fart. Like, at least go to the movies at least like once a month with your friends, at least to have some social connection
versus the screen.
Yeah, at least.
So there's obviously different situations we dealt with as growing up. I personally believe stress is real because you have told me about it. So what are some of the things right now at 14 going on 15 years old as a freshman in high school that you like stress about, like that brings you like total stress?
Grades, because I know if I get a B, I'm gonna get a bit yelled at.
Okay, that's good.
No, like,
we're pretty tough at home.
I'm gonna start ranting about school, right? So
go.
So I'm here, I'm like, okay, French, I'm taking French. I'm like, okay, at first it was like, okay, it's easy. We used to just do games, blah, blah, not just little less games. And like, I'm noticing that it's putting more stress on me than it should be. Cause I'm like, I could be putting the stress of having to take this test or like keeping my brain capacity from exploding. I could probably put that somewhere else that's more useful. Like, math, I'm fine. ELA, that's my worst subject, even though I'm passing it. I could be putting that there. I could putting in science. I could be putting it in history instead of French. No offense to my French teacher. She's a good teacher, but it's unnecessary stress that I don't need, right?
So a lot of stuff. So that's one of your stresses. Anything else? That's
no. I mean, not really, because I don't really study for the math test. When I don't study, I go into class on the test day. I look at the study guide that the teacher gives us. I just look at it for like 5 minutes. I just put it away, and I get A's on the test. So I'm like, I just if that's my method, it works for me. Nobody's will tell me what I can or can't do. That method works for me. Like, I have a really good memory.
So I want to ask you, because this obviously we're among guys right now.
Yep.
So I want to ask you. So, what are your thoughts about boyfriend and girlfriend relationships right now in high school?
Oh my goodness. Oh,
yeah.
Oh my goodness. I could rant about this all day. I hate when I'm just walking in the hallway, chilling, breaking the law because I have my headphones in. Because it's too boring. I'm sorry. I can't walk like 4 minutes. Because like most of the time I'm not with my friends, right? So I'm just walking. I put my headphones in to listen to music. The person's like, you cannot have your headphones on. But I'm like, so I put them away. And then I go down the stairs. I just put it back on. But that's for another story. I just hate when I'm walking and I just see a couple like, oh my God, I love you, blah blah. And I'm like, oh my goodness, really? Can you not like go like somewhere else, not in the middle of the hallway, like get a room or something? Like, I'm like, move. There's some people just trying to have a nice day.
So, so that's one portion of it. What else do you see now in high school? Like, I remember what I saw in high school in the 90s. Vaping. Yeah. What relationships? About relationships. So, aside from people being affectionate to each other,
that's it.
Yeah.
I've never heard anything else.
Anything else? Okay.
No, besides only fights happening. Like, there's one that happened like yesterday that a kid broke his jaw and got hospitalized actually no, this goes into what you're saying. Yeah. Because this dude was saying something about this dude's girlfriend. So the dude catches him in the bathroom and sucker punches him, and he breaks his jaw on the urinal.
Ooh.
So he's like hospitalized, and I'm pretty sure that kid is expelled. He's
Something.
expelled, and he and of course I see him walking with the sheriff, and he has tattoo sleeves, but like right here, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is
Tattoos in high school?
yeah, tattoos. I have a friend who has tattoos. He says something about his family, like
A
love of
freshman?
family. Yeah, he's supposed to be a sophomore, but his dad has knows how to do tattoos, so I guess he did it for him.
Goodness sake! Like, when I grew up in, I mean, at least one or two, but it was all covered up. So now you say people have sleeves and everything in high school? That's different. It's
Yeah,
definitely
there
different.
when in cold you really can't tell because everybody's wearing like jackets or sweaters. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
once like in like 2 weeks or a week, you're gonna start seeing them because people are gonna be wearing shirts,
Gotcha. What else in high school do you see? You talked about vaping.
vaping.
What are your thoughts on vaping?
Don't do it. It ruins your life. Okay, look, you really can't say anything because we don't have enough studies, but you already know if it comes from, if it comes from a box with electricity and whatever, you know it's not good for you, and then you're putting that in your mouth. Oh, that's not gonna end well. I really could tell you that with no research. It's probably worse than smoking cigarettes. I mean, they're both equal, but it's gonna affect you faster.
Yeah. What else? What else do you see in there?
A lot, my friend, every day my friend rants about when I'm in my fifth period, I'm walking in, he's like, I can't even use the bathroom because it smells like Mary J in there, because there's people in like the big stall just doing it. I'm like, what's Mary J? Because I don't know what that is. He's like, marijuana. I'm like, oh yeah, obviously it's high school. I'm sorry, but like that's why I don't use the bathroom there like until like everybody's gone when I'm with my friends, because I sometimes I can't hold it. Because I mean, you be cooking it on low heat all day for
Yeah.
8 hours. Because the only time I get to use the bathroom is in the morning, and that's at like 5 or 6, depending on the day. Because like there's some weeks where I like sleep in like 10 minutes more because I need it.
So you didn't even use the bathroom because it's that bad.
Is no, you just see a line of people, and you just see them like pass by each other. They bump, and I just see their hands go like, their hands just like swap it out, and the other one walks out. And you see like every day the principal just walking into the bathrooms like, hey, stop it, or like administration just say, hey, stop it, and you just see them running off like little cockroaches like.
What are your? So we just talked about a couple of things, obviously that's very popular in this world now. But I want to hear your opinion on drugs. You talk about weed. I don't know what else you hear in school, but let's talk about just drugs in general. What is your perspective of what
It sucks. It's not it. Anything that's factory made is not good for you. Like imagine like, because right now where we get our food, because we live in the United States, we have the highest like food production, even though even though 2% of our population are farmers. Where do you think we're getting our food from our butt? Like what? We're making them in factories. We have factories off in the north area. We're making that. Imagine just a chicken made just to die. Like they're adding GMOs, and then if they do farm, they're GMOs, pesticides, which is getting in our food, right? And if there's runoff, that gets into our water and into the cows, chickens, and any other animals' grass where they eat. And imagine we're eating that. So if that is factory made and it's harming us, imagine like something that's made to relax you. Made to relax you. Imagine what you're taking that in. Oh, it's so cool to pop pills, edibles, shrooms, blah blah. Okay, like I like for this past 2 weeks, there's these two females in my class that sit on the other side, and it just started happening. I heard them talking about how they went to a party, blah blah, and how they smoked. And now for like the past 2 weeks, I just see them like high every day. Like they're always sleepy or they're always very hungry. And I'm like, damn, that's what. If you've seen that, some people are like, okay, that makes me not want to do it. But some people just don't care.
So just seeing the effects of somebody
Yeah, I
else.
don't.
Yeah.
They like one of them is like somewhat they know how to somewhat control it. Like you can see they're trying to cancel it, but the other one is like on La La Land, like seeing unicorns or seeing us as pineapples. I swear, eyes are
Wow.
like they're barely open.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to look like that. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to be wrinkled at my 20s.
There you go. That's a good point. So let's talk about we are a Christian family.
Mhm.
We base everything that we have, with God as number one in our lives. So we've brought you that way. I was brought up that way. Your mom was brought up that way. Um, how does faith and Christianity play in your life, and how does it influence you on your decisions right now as a teenager?
It definitely makes you have to. It makes you more restricted than other people who don't know him as much or who have other religions, right?
How do you see like everything that you do, decisions, and you know, uh, you know, different situations? How does your faith and your knowledge of God change? Those decisions that you have to make.
Doing drugs, like you have to give no to temptations because that's bad for you, right? That's one. I'm not sure if it's really a sin, but it's probably is.
Yeah.
And forgiveness, you gotta forgive, right? You can't be holding grudges because you can't be like angry. Like there's fathers who or sons who have been angry at each other for like decades, for like 20 years, 10 years, and haven't spoke to each other since. That really affects the family, right? And then that's part of forgiveness, right? You gotta forgive people. Don't choose violence, like God said. Turn the other cheek, but sometimes don't turn the other cheek. I may not end well, but
Normally
try to. Yeah,
So you have connections to the whole entire world basically through everything, and you're a big gamer as well. We're finishing up this interview. He's going to do a Fortnite tournament.
yeah, of course.
So you have everything. How does that affect now that you have access to a lot of things out there? Your affect your spirituality. How does technology and social media affect your spirituality as a teenager?
Shows really do.
Shows.
Like, okay, so I don't think I was supposed to hear this, but I'm nosy, like many of you of you know. So my parents were watching this one show. I think it's called Obliterated.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Supposedly it's very very rough. So then my mom says that she had a dream that night where like a lot of demonic stuff happened. I can't really remember the details. Blah blah. So that's one way it could affect your spirituality, and another one I heard was uh was Lucifer, where somebody, I'm not gonna name who, I'm not a name dropper, where they watched it, where there was a couple who watched it, and then let's just say that they're not like together anymore. Stuff happens, right? That's another thing because Lucifer is Satan, right? Because Satan was very handsome, but he's Satan, right? That's what you know in the Bible, right? So that's the shows are mainly the thing.
So you gotta watch what.
Yeah, you gotta watch what you watch.
Watch what you watch.
Watching.
Right. Yeah. Be mindful of
Because
what.
it could open doors that you don't want.
It's the truth. Absolutely. It's a whole different entire, realm that you got to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your advice to those teenagers that are also in the whole entire technology, the social media? So one is watch what you watch. What else?
Then watch what you watch because everything's streamed now. You could just you could just see whatever you could think on Netflix, right? Or Disney Plus now, because now it's like mature. They added mature things. Cause I come back one day and I'm like, oh, new Marvel show. I'm like, okay, and I'm like, and it starts getting rough, and I see a lot of blood. I'm like, damn, this Disney Plus anymore? And I check the rating, and it's mature, and I'm like, oh, I'm not supposed to be watching this. But it was just I just read it, and it said gore, and I'm like, oh, this is a little more than gore. It was this one like, it was deaf or blind. It was deaf. It was this one deaf girl who was like traumatic, where her mom died in a car crash when she was in the car too. Blah blah. Anyway, like that, like you don't know you need to see what you're watching, right? There's really nothing else to say. Really, just try to step away or not. Make sure you research what you're gonna watch. Like that's basically the only advice I give. Like, if you enjoy gore, go ahead, but don't expect to sleep peacefully at night.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
it's open doors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doors are,
You really can't control it. Like, watch out the horror movies. Like, they're getting like really realistic nowadays. I'm like, that. Oh my goodness. Like Stranger Things. Yeah. I watched it. I watched the first, second, and third season. I'm like, okay, it's all right. The fourth season though, I'm like, this got rough. Like, it's the CGI, and I'm like, when was this technology available? I don't see this in Jurassic Park. This is better than Jurassic Park. The CGI. I'm like, it's realistic. It's way too realistic. I'm like, oh my goodness. I was able to sleep peacefully, but that it was scary. Like, I finished Stranger Things in 2 days. Oh, wow. Because it was during the summer. I just ding 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 done.
That's crazy. So yeah, be mindful what
you open doors that you don't know you're opening.
That's true. That's true.
That's what doesn't allow you to. If you're wondering, why can't I sleep? Why does it feel like something's watching me? Because you open doors they didn't know you opened.
Yeah.
Watch what you're watching.
That's it. So, changing up a little bit. Tell me about your mom.
I gotta be careful because it's not gonna be a very good night for me. I'm joking. She's Cuban, right? Everybody knows that. Hey, party! Loud Cubans. Every Cuban's loud. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the like couple Cubans that are watching here. Oh, I'm so quiet, so tímido. No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm sorry. No, you're not. Every female Hispanic is loud. When they don't even think they're loud, they're loud. Like this is one Hispanic girl in my class, and there's like a lot of Hispanics in my French class. And it's like, oye, Manuel, ¿qué pasó con el pelea? And she's just like screaming across the room, and not even they're like 6 feet away from each other, and she doesn't even know she's being loud, but she's being loud. So loud, confident, very independent. Too much, a little bit. I know she's gonna be watching this, so I have to say that she's 98.2% right of the time.
98.2.
Yeah. I have that other percentage, and so does my dad. I don't know how, but she'd be pulling stuff out of her ass. I don't know, like information. I'm like, where did you get this from? And then in the middle of an argument, I'm like, this happened like 6 years ago. I'm like, what?
Well, it's always said that.
But at the end of the day, she's my mother, and I love her.
I love it. Awesome. That's great. Well, they said Hispanic women are FBI agents, nurses, private detectives.
I swear.
Mind readers. I don't know.
So when I first got Instagram, my friend has this Latina friend. I'm like, you know what? Let me test this FBI theory. I just got Instagram. I'm like, without going through the people that I follow, try to find me. She found my thing in 5 minutes. I'm like, how? I've only had this for like a day or two.
Believe me. Hey, I'm in the same boat.
And I'm like over here because my French teacher, she says she's older than she looks. I'm like, how old can she be? So I'm digging all through, like, I'm digging through the web on my school laptop. I'm like, I can't say her name. something. And then I'm like, okay, it says she graduated 2020 for the university. But then I find a picture of her and I click it and it takes me to the article and it says she graduated 2017 out of South Florida. So I'm like, okay, wait, which one's true? And it says her mom and dad's name. So I'm like, okay, which one is? I don't know how they be doing it. They be like,
oh my goodness. So mom, very interesting, but amazing person in our lives.
if I didn't have her, I wouldn't have anything to eat.
It's the truth because I don't really cook. We do our best, we do, but we have a lot to be thankful for because God has brought us an amazing woman to obviously be my wife and your mom to your sister, and but I do know that she always keeps you on your toes, which is very, very important. Okay,
a little too much.
Very important. And what are the traditions? This is some of the final questions that we do as a family that you think you will do with your children when you have them someday.
Christmas, when we open our stockings, instead of Christmas Day, we open them on New Year's Eve at night. And then I'm gonna be competing with my sister to say happy birthday with my mom, like my mom and my uncle do with their mom or my grandma. When they're like, oh, I called her first. And it's like a competition. I'm like, what? But this year, my dad said it first.
I did.
Because Uncle
I was planning it.
Yeah, because Uncle said it a minute too early.
I love it. So traditions, just stalking. Anything else?
Putting up the Christmas tree together. And then spending time together.
Love it. Love it.
And when I get a pool, go in the pool like every weekend.
Summer's coming.
Yeah.
Summer's coming.
It's hot, bro. But I'm still gonna be wearing my pants. My baggy pants, my jeans. I don't care if it's like 90 degrees outside. I'll still be wearing them. I'll just probably be wearing a shirt.
And to kind of finish it out, what is the most important lesson that you've learned from me as your dad?
You taught me many things, knowingly and unknowingly. I have it on the tip of my tongue, but I can't. It's like something. It's like, don't try, do, right? Because if you're trying, you're setting yourself up for failure because you're not doing 100. And if you do, you're going to be putting 100 in, even if you fail.
Okay.
I think that's how it goes. Something like that. I think that's it. I can't remember.
Gotcha. Anything else? Any other important lessons?
Listen, even if you guys are wrong.
There you go. Always listen.
But I have a question for you though.
Sure.
How come when you are like when you're scolding me, right? And I'm trying to give my reason, you say don't stop talking back to me. But I'm not talking back. I'm trying to have a conversation with you.
Well, the first step is to listen. And you just actually said it. Listen to the person that's speaking to you. Sometimes we listen to respond, where you should be listening first to understand the person that's in front of you. Once you listen to understand, then you gather your thoughts to respond. Okay? So it doesn't matter if the person's wrong. It doesn't matter if the person's right. It doesn't matter if it's a 98.2 or whatever you just said. It's about listening first. Okay? That's in life and business and in anything, relationship. Listen first before listen to understand versus listen to respond.
Well, you just gave me a new thing that I learned from you. Not really new, but think before you say.
Yeah, absolutely. Study the situation. Study all the points that are being said, regardless if they're wrong, right, whatever. And then you respond with your opinion or your solution and what it is.
No wonder you get your ways of all these contractors and investors.
Yeah, that's my. That's
You use their
what it
own
is.
things against them.
I love it. So, this has been amazing. I've learned a couple things from you that I did not know, which is great. You've been you're going. You're actually taller than me now. I think you're gonna get to 6 feet probably.
Hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. And but we're very proud of teenager and soon to be young adult that you're becoming. I think you are very, very bright, very smart. You're started already to work with us. You were interning with us, worked in the summer with us last year. You're probably gonna come back this year again, right? And we just see nothing but bright future for you. And your plan is to do what when you get older?
Real estate agent. Actually, you know what? Since we're here,
Sure.
how much? Yeah, we got time. We got
Well,
yes. Some more time. The plan is already concocted. It's been in the brews since I was since a month ago. Nah, I've updated it since a month ago, but it's been brewing since like 10. So here's the plan. When I turn 18, I don't care how many attempts it takes, I'm gonna get my real estate license. While that's happening, my previous years, next year I'm about to take an engineering course, so I could do engineering, right? So that's already in the works with the real estate, right? So for college, I'm gonna take, since I already did the 2 years of college in Valencia or the dual enrollment, whatever, my next year too. Next year is gonna be a pain in the butt. I'm not gonna lie to you, with a lot of work, because I'm also gonna be doing driver's ed, so I don't have to do it in person. So I got that, and then for college, I'm gonna do engineering or construction. One of those two. I think it's either gonna be engineering, probably maybe both. I don't know. Only the future could tell, or God could tell. I don't know.
Yeah,
Nobody
but it's
knows.
good because that can be used for real estate, which is really great. So, really, really proud of you. I can already see the next 2-3 years are going to be very eventful. Finishing up high school, getting some more business knowledge, working with us here at our organization. And we are nothing but happy that you're going to your ways into the world as an adult with God first, with a business mindset, and with a good heart. So we're very proud of you. With that, we finish this episode 200% Life Podcast with our amazing Gianfranco Gomez, my mini me, which is now bigger than me. He's taller than me. But don't forget to rate, subscribe, like on all of our platforms, and we'll see you on the next one, 200%.